Please tell me your name.
I'm Muhammad.
Tell me your full name.
Yeah, I'm Muhammad Ahmed. I'm an officer intern here in the SDA.
Okay, Hamid, do I have you understand that I'm filming this for a feature film as well as a youth dialogue? Do I have your consent to film you tonight?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm Ahmed Yusri. I work here in SDA. And yes, you have my consent and you can do it.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Mahmoud Al Fattah. I'm a member in SDA and working in IT stuff. And I think I will do my best with this content.
Okay, and I have your consent to film.
Say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Amir Mohammed. I am a member and volunteer in SDE, and I allow you to capture this.
Thank you, my fellow Voyager. Don't worry, this is not going to be on the film. We should fix it.
هذه المهندسين هذه عامل كلية هندسة تجارة تعيش.
I should also say that whenever someone's talking, please, as much as you might want to poke fun at them or something, please don't talk because this is such a sensitive mic. I'm getting every pin drop. And we'll only be going for say less than 30 minutes. So if someone needs a cigarette or something, it's really not that long. 30 minutes only. Okay.
I'm Islam Muhammad. You have my consent.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm Haysam Kamil, and yeah, sure, we can make it.
Okay, good. Thank you all. Okay, so as we talked about, Hassan, can you tell me a little bit more about where we are? And also I want to ask you that when I ask a question in response to something you said, please act as if I didn't ask the question and just repeat everything. So if I'm asking you what human rights means to SDA in practice, please say, well, actually human rights for us is working with...
You don't want to be a sort of a filming or asking. It's like talking.
Okay, I'm ready for just a background on the organization and...
Yeah. Okay, first, welcome here in the SDA. SDA stands for Sustainable Development Association. It was established, we started in the year 2002 after a conference called the Youth Employment Summit, or well known as YES campaign. It is a decade campaign for 10 years from 2002 till 2012, and each year there is like a summit in a country. The first one was in Alexandria, in the Library of Alexandria, and we were just a group of volunteers who work in the summit to organize it in logistics and in everything. And before the conference began, we liked the idea of it, and we started to establish something called the YES Network in Egypt. And after the conference finished and all the efforts happened, we have a little rest, and then we think about having a legitimate organization that to be a cover or an umbrella that to work in. And we established it ourselves as young people, so it became like very young board of members, and all the co-founders were all young, on the 20s, between 22, 23 years old. And we started in, we registered the organization in 2003, and then we worked in a lot of fields, in the employment, in education, in raising the capacity mainly of the young people to make them find a good job opportunity when they graduate, because of to help them to overcome anything they miss in the educational system, in the school or university, to raise their capacity by contacting all over the world through exchange, through organized conferences, or participate in, to initiate some ideas to work in a lot of projects that we made, and that's how it is working.
Haysam, can you tell me, if I understand the programs that you do, and also I think that Alexandria is kind of a specific city because of the very long-standing partnership between Europe and the Mediterranean countries, that I think you kind of have the capital of that here. The foundation island is located here. It seems like a lot of events happen at the library. It's really a meeting place, maybe in the center of that region that we're talking about. And so all of this exchange happens, youth exchange, cultural exchange, but why does it happen? I mean, is it you know, some of the detractors, I think, from Youth Exchange say, hey, this is just people that kind of want to travel around and visit places and, you know, do so on government dime. But I also hear people say that it's absolutely essential for peace, that if people aren't getting together and seeing how other people live, other people's culture, customs, etc., then we're never going to get along at the macro level, say by not going to war with one another or not fighting over a resource with one another. So I'd really like to know, you know, what is it about cultural exchange that is deep? Like, what's the meat of it?
Yeah, I believe Alexandria is very special in this because like it started by its founder, Alexander the Great himself. He came from Greece to conquer the Eastern world, and then this became like touch between the Europe and the southern of the Mediterranean countries. And Alexandria itself, it could be like the core. In the old times, it was like the capital of the Mediterranean, and after that, in the Middle Ages or maybe in the 19th or 20th century, a lot of people came from Europe, from Greece, from Italy, from France. They lived here and they became more Egyptian. So this city, it started to be like kind of cosmopolitan city that have a lot of cultures that have been absorbed by this land, and they stayed here. And this produced another kind of culture. That's what happened in Alexandria. It stays. Even a lot of people who came from Europe left the country in middle of the 20th century, but it's still a lot of people who stays here with a lot of groups that still having this kind of culture or affected by it. So in Alexandria it's different than a lot of parts in Egypt by this specialty, and also by the library of Alexandria is existing here in Alexandria. It's a big library and a lot of cultural events happening here. Besides that, it was chosen to be the headquarters for the Annalene Foundation here in Alexandria. It was the first organization that worked in the Euro-Mediterranean cooperation in the south. So it's very a symbol that Alexandria there is something special here. And also within our members here in the SDA, there is a lot of people. He is half Egyptian, half something else from Greece, from Italy, from somewhere, or even in the families they having some related. But they are, full Egyptian citizens, but they have some backgrounds in their heritage different than maybe other places. So maybe this is reflects everything in the cultural life. And also in our activities, there is a lot of cooperation within international activities, not just in the Euromed, but we have around partners maybe in 120 other countries. Most of them are